Report says we are at stage 11, paragraph page 1054. Okay, and our last headword was long-sighted, newer type of lesson. Okay, so
Mm,
let's start with
okay.
our revision. Ready?
Ready?
Okay, here we go. First question. What kind of fabric is denim and what it's most commonly used for? What kind of fabric is denim and what's its most commonly used for? Denim is a tough
Denim
cotton fabric
is a tough cotton
with
fabric
a rough texture
with a
and
rough
is
texture
most commonly
and is
used
most
for
commonly
making
used
jeans.
for making jeans.
Wait, what's a bandage? What's a bandage? A bandage is
A
a long
bandage
piece of
is a
fabric
long piece
that
of
we
fabric
wrap around
that we
an
wrap
injury
around
to keep
an
it
injury
clean
to keep
and
it
stop
clean
any bleeding.
and stop any bleeding.
Very good. Okay, if you had to wait ages for your order to be taken in a restaurant, but then the food itself turned out to be delicious, would you leave a tip? If you had to wait ages for your order to be taken in a restaurant, but then the food itself turned out to be delicious, would you leave a tip? Yes or no?
No,
If I had
I
to wait
if I had
ages
to wait
for my
ages
order to be taken
for my order to be
in
taken
a restaurant, but
in a
then
restaurant,
the food
but then
itself
the
turned
food
out
itself
to be
turned
delicious,
out to be
I
delicious,
wouldn't leave a tip.
I wouldn't pay a tip.
Very good, because there's service charge already. Okay, next.
Mm.
Have you ever had any weird experiences in your life that you're unable to explain? Have you ever had any weird experiences in your life that you're unable to explain? Yes or no?
Yes,
I've had some
I've
weird
had some
experiences
weird
in my
experiences
life that
in my
I'm
life
unable to
that I'm
explain.
unable to explain.
Very good. When do people gasp? When do people gasp? People gasp
People
when they
gasp
receive a
when they
sudden
receive
shock
a
or
sudden
when they
shock
can
or
finally
when they
breathe
can
in
finally read
after
in
swimming
after
underwater
swimming
for a long
underwater
time, for example.
for a long time. Example.
Very good. Okay, let me scroll down. Okay, here we go. In reference to writing, what do we mean by a report? In reference to writing, what do we mean by a report? In reference to
In
writing,
reference
by a
to write
report, we
by a
mean
report,
a highly
we
organized
mean a
document
highly organized
written
document
for a specific
within
person
for a
or
specific
group
person
of people
or
that
group of people
provides information
that provides
on a
information
particular
on a
situation
particular
or event.
situation or event.
Right, when we write a report, who's most likely to be our target audience? When we write a report, who's most likely to be our target audience? When we write a
When
report,
we write
our
a
target
report,
audience
our target
is most
audience
likely
is
our
most
boss
likely
at work
our boss
or
at
a
work
member of
or a
another
member of
organization
another
or
organization
committee.
or committee.
Therefore, what writing style should we
Therefore,
use?
what writing
Therefore, what writing
therefore
style should we use?
what writing style should be
We
used?
should use a
We should
formal
use
and
a formal
impersonal style.
and impersonal style.
Very good. Tell me three easy ways to help create a formal and impersonal style. Tell me three easy ways to help create a formal and impersonal style, please. Three easy ways
Three
to
easy
help
ways
create
to
a
help
formal
create
and
a
impersonal
formal and
style
impersonal
are to
style
avoid the
are
use
to
of
avoid the
contractions,
use of
use the
contractions,
passive voice
use the
where
passive
possible,
voice
and
where
avoid
possible,
using the
and avoid
pronoun
using
I in the
the
main
pronoun I
paragraphs.
in the main paragraphs.
What are the two common ways of starting a report? What are the two common ways of starting a report? Two common
Two
ways
common
of
ways
starting a report
of starting a
are by
report
using a title
are by using
or
a
by
title
using to,
or by using
from, and
to,
subject
from,
lines
and subject
as in
lines
an email.
as in an email.
Very good. Which two pieces of information do we normally put in the introduction paragraph? Which two pieces of information do we normally put in the introduction paragraph? Two pieces of
Two pieces
information we
of
normally put.
sorry,
Two pieces of
two pieces
information of
of
information
information
we normally put in
we
the
normally put
introduction paragraph
in the introduction
are
paragraph.
the aim of the report.
Sorry, I
Uh,
couldn't catch
oh,
your word.
let me reconnect. Okay, how about now?
Hello again.
One more. Two
Mm.
pieces
Two
of
pieces
information
of
we
information
normally put
we normally
in
put
the
in
introduction
the
paragraph
introduction
are the
paragraph
aim of the
are
report
the aim of the
and
report
where we got
and where we
our
got
information
our
from.
information from.
Very good. Why do we normally give each paragraph a subheading when writing a report? Why do we normally
Uh,
give each
why
paragraph a subheading when
why
writing a report? Here we go.
mm,
We normally
mm.
give
we normally
each paragraph
give each
a
paragraph
subheading
a
when
subheading
writing a report
when writing a
to make it
report
clear
to
to
make
the
it clear
reader what
to the
each
reader
paragraph is
what this
about.
paragraph is about.
Should the main paragraph of a report mainly state facts or give our own personal opinions? Should the main paragraph of a report mainly state facts or give our own personal opinions? The main paragraph
The main
of a
paragraph
report
of a
should
report
mainly state
should
facts.
mainly state facts.
Right. So where do we normally write our own opinions? So where do we normally write our own opinions? We normally write
We normally
our
write
own opinions
our own
in the
opinions
conclusion
in the
paragraph.
conclusion paragraph.
What else do we often put in the conclusion? What else do we often put in the conclusion? We often put
We often put
recommendations in the
recommendations
conclusion.
in the conclusion.
Very good. Have you ever tripped over your shoelaces? Have you ever tripped over your shoelaces? Yes or no?
No,
I've never tripped
I've never
over
tripped
my shoelaces.
over my shoelaces.
Very good. Can insects such as mosquitoes and flies infect people with disease? Can insects such as mosquitoes and flies infect people with disease? Yes.
Yes,
Insects such as
insects such
mosquitoes
as
and
mosquitoes
flies can
and
infect
flies
people
and infect
with
people
disease.
with disease.
And are some of these infections potentially fatal? And are some of these infections potentially fatal? Yes, some of
Yes,
these
some of
infections
these
are
infections
potentially fatal.
are potentially fatal.
Very good. Who's the most influential leader your country's had in the last 100 years or so? Who's the most influential leader your country's had in the last 100 years or so? The most
The
influential
most
leader my
influential
country's
leader
had
my
in the
country's
last
had
hundred
in the
years
last
or
100
so
years or so
was
was Kishi.
very good. Okay, how many layers of bricks do you reckon a wall 2 meters high consists of? How many layers of bricks do you reckon a wall 2 meters high consists of? I reckon a
I
wall
reckon
two
a
meters
wall
high
2 meters
consists
high
of
consists of 40,
brick
40
40
layers
layers of bricks.
layers of bricks.
Very good. The most business run at a loss for a while when they're first established before they manage to break even. The most businesses run at a loss for a while when they're first established before they manage to break even. Yes, most
Yes,
businesses
most
run at
businesses
a loss for
run
a
at a
while
loss
when
for a
they're
while
first established
when they're first
before they
established
manage to break
before they
even.
managed break even.
Very good. What's the opposite of at a loss? What's the opposite of at a loss? The opposite
The
of at
opposite
a loss.
of the word a lost
At a
of at a
loss
loss
is
at
at
a
a profit.
loss is at a profit.
Very good. Does your mother have a specific perfume that she always wears? Does your mother have a specific perfume that she always wears? Yes or no?
Yes,
My mother
my
has a
mother
specific
has a
perfume
specific
that
perfume
she always
that
wears.
she always wears.
Which one, if you know?
The Russian perfume.
Very good. Okay, next. Do you have good vision? Do you have good vision? Yes or no?
Yes,
I have
I
good
have
vision.
a good vision.
If
Sorry,
someone, I have good vision.
I have good vision.
Very good. If someone can only see objects clearly when they're quite far away, are they short-sighted or long-sighted? If someone can only see objects clearly when they're quite far away, are they short-sighted or long-sighted? When someone
When
can
someone
only see
can
objects
only see
clearly
objects
when they're
clearly
quite far
when
away,
they're quite far
they're
away,
long-sighted.
they are long-sighted.
Very good. And that's the end of our revision. Very good. Let's
Mhm.
have new work. Very good. Okay, so let's start. Okay, repeat. Medium,
Medium,
media,
media,
the media,
the media,
social media,
social media,
sociable.
sociable.
Very good. Okay, listen. The word medium is a noun. It means a particular form or system of communication, such as newspapers, radio, or television. For example, the medium of television became available to the average household during the second half of the 20th century. Media is a noun. It is the plural of medium, which again means the radio stations, televisions, and newspapers through which information is communicated to the public. For example, I don't think printed media such as books and newspapers will eventually disappear. When we say the media, it's a noun. It means people who work as news reporters, publishers, and broadcasters. For example, the strong typhoon Haiyan in the Philippines attracted a lot of attention from the media. The media in my country are entitled to report whatever they like. Social media is a noun. It is a form of media that allows people to communicate and share information using the internet or mobile phones. Sociable is an adjective. It means liking to be with and talk to other people. For example, I agree that social media sites can, in fact, end up making people less sociable. Let's practice. When did the medium of television become available to the average household? When did the medium of television become available to the average household? The medium of
The medium
television
of
became
television
available
became
to the
available
average household
to the average
during the
household
second half
during the
of the
second half
20th century.
of the 20th century.
Where do you think printed media such as books and newspapers will eventually disappear? Do you think printed media such as books and newspapers will eventually disappear? Yes or no?
No,
I don't
I
think
don't
printed
think
media such as
printed
books
media such
and
as books
newspapers
and
will
newspapers
eventually
will
disappear.
eventually disappear.
Where are the media in your country entitled to report whatever they like? Are the media in your country entitled to report whatever they like? Yes or no?
Yes,
The media in my
the
country
media
are
in my country
entitled to report
are entitled to
whatever
report
they like.
whatever they like.
Do you agree that social media sites such as Facebook can in fact end up making people less sociable? Do you agree that social media sites such as Facebook can in fact end up making people less sociable? Yes or no?
Yes,
I agree
I
that
think I agree that
social media sites
social media
such
sites
as Facebook
such as
can
Facebook
in fact end
can
up
in fact
making
end
people
up
less
making people
sociable.
less sociable.
Very good. Next, repeat objective,
Objective,
subjective,
subjective.
how come,
How come?
assess.
Assess.
Very good. Okay, listen. The word objective can be a noun and an adjective. As a noun, objective means a goal or purpose. For example, the principal objective of some commercial businesses is to make a profit. As an adjective, objective means based on facts rather than feelings or opinions. Subjective is an adjective. It is the opposite of objective. It means based on feelings or opinions rather than facts. Okay. For example, personal taste in clothing is very subjective. How come is used to ask why something has happened, how something is true, etc. For example, how come you're here so early? The word assess is a verb. It means to make a judgment about something. For example, it's so difficult for parents to assess their children's progress at school objectively because their feelings for their children can prevent them from judging things reasonably. Let's practice. What's the principal objective of any commercial business? What's the principal objective of any commercial business? The principal objective
The principal
of any
objective
commercial
of
business
any commercial
is to make
business
a profit.
is to make a profit.
How come it's so difficult for parents to assess their children's progress at school objectively? How come it's so difficult for parents to assess their children's progress at school objectively? It's so difficult
It's so
for
difficult
parents to
for
assess
parents
their
to
children's
assess their
progress at
children's
school
progress at
objectively
school
because their
objectively
feelings
because
for
their
their
feelings
children
for
can
their
prevent
children
them
and
from
prevent
judging
them
things
from judging
reasonably.
things rationally.
Very good. What's the opposite of objective? What's the opposite of objective? The opposite
The
of
opposite
objective
of
is
objective
subjective.
is subjective.
Very good. Next, repeat. Hang on to.
Pay on
Hang.
to
Hang on to.
10
Hang.
onto.
Hang on to.
Hang on to.
And hold on to.
Hold on to.
Very good. So hang on to and hold on to are the same. They're phrasal verbs. It means to hold or grip someone or something tightly. For example, if I didn't hang on to something when standing up on a moving bus, I might fall over.
Mm.
Let's practice. If you didn't hang on to something when standing up on a moving bus, what might happen? If you didn't hold on to something when standing up on a moving bus, what might happen? If I didn't
If
on
I
to
didn't
something
hang on
when
to
standing up
something when
on a
standing
moving
up
bus,
on the moving
I
bus,
might fall over.
I might fall over.
Very good. Next, repeat. Rattle.
Rattle.
Wedge.
Wedge.
Very good. Okay, listen. The word rattle is a verb. It means to hit against something repeatedly and make a quick series of short, loud sound. For example, the window rattled as the truck drove by. Wedge is a noun. It means something that is shaped like a triangle. For example, you can stop a window rattling in the wind by pushing a small wedge of wood, card, or cloth into the gap between the window and the frame. Cheese is often sold in wedge-shaped blocks. Let's practice. How can you stop a window rattling in the wind? How can you stop a window rattling in the wind? You can stop a window
You can stop a
rattling in
window
the wind by
rattling in the
pushing
wind
a small
by
wedge
pushing
of
a
wood,
small wedge
card,
of wood,
or cloth
card, or
into the
cloth
gap
into the
between the
gap
window and the
between the
frame.
window and the frame.
Which type of food is often sold in
Which
wedge-shaped blocks? Which type of food is often sold in wedge-shaped blocks? Cheese is often
piece
sold
is
in
often sold
wedge-shaped
in
blocks.
wedge-shaped rocks.
Very good. Next, repeat. Terrific.
Terrific.
Very good. Okay, listen. The word terrific is an adjective. It means extremely good or excellent. For example, if I said I saw a terrific film last night, I'd mean I saw a very good film. There was a terrific amount of technological progress during the last century. Let's practice. What would I mean if I said I saw a terrific film last night? What would I mean if I said I saw a terrific film last night? If you said
If you
you
said
saw a
you saw
terrific
a
film
terrific
last night,
film as
you'd
last
mean
night,
you
you
saw
mean
a very
you
good
saw
film.
a very good film.
Very good. Was there a terrific amount of technological progress during the last century? Was there a terrific amount of technological progress during the last century? Yes, there was a
Yes, there
terrific
was
amount
a
of
terrific amount
technological
of
progress
technological progress
during the last century.
during the last century.
Very good. Next, repeat. In half
In half,
or in two.
in two,
Crease.
crease,
Very good. Okay, listen. In half or in two means into two equal parts. For example, I'm folding a piece of paper in half twice. Crease is a noun. It means a line or mark made by folding, pressing, or crushing something, such as cloth or a piece of paper. For example, this is the crease in the paper, like the line, the crease. Another example, if I fold a piece of paper in half twice, unfold it, and then tear along the creases, I end up with four pieces of paper. Okay, let's practice. If you fold a piece of paper in half twice, unfold it, and then tear along the creases, how many pieces of paper do you end up with? If you fold a piece of paper in half twice, unfold it, and then tear along the creases, how many pieces of paper do you end up with? If you fold a
if you
piece of
fold
paper
a piece of paper
in half twice,
in half
unfold it,
twice
and
and fold
then
it,
tear
and
along
then
the creases,
tear along creases,
you end up with
you
four
end up
pieces of
with
paper.
four pieces of paper.
Very good. Okay, so now let's move on to reading.
Oh, okay. Stage
Okay,
9.
so our reading is at stage 9, paragraph page 762. Last headword was see. Okay, so please start at headword sent, give off. Stage 9,
762
762. Sent, give off.
and oh, send give off.
Mhm.
Okay, here I found it. Send give off.